Another day just passed by with a lot of drama in the crypto market. And if you do look at the market as a whole and then segregate some of these assets, you tend to see positive movements in some, but not the same in few others. So for you as an investor, you should be able to understand if the fundamentals are already priced in or not. Say this is one of the payments token which has huge fundamentals. But then the question here is that already priced in? Because I remember having members coming to me saying there are people saying this is going to 1,000, 10,000 like that. What should we do? And right now, that seems to be the best case scenario because the price was what? 200 at that time. We jumped out. Now it's at 76. The same. EOS, as soon as it broke this key level, which held us as support for a long period of time, we moved out. We took a hit, but we made that back in another asset. But look at that. It was close to $2 and right now it's at 0.58. So the decision which you take right now is going to decide whether you're going to be able to ride the real big wave to the upside. And that's why the SI family is keeping updated about every single scenario in the market. If you look at Ether, you will see, okay, there was a micro break to the downside, but we just got rejected. Why though? That's the news, but there is something in it which the retail is completely missing, and I believe the institutions understand that and they'll use the retail to fill their bags up because it's not what I'm seeing. It's about the data which the market is giving you. Hundreds of millions of dollars are being moved. New money is coming in. Big money is buying real assets. You have to decide now or it's going to be late this year itself. Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get to learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. We are looking at Bitcoin chart just like this in front of you, which is a weekly, that suggests something. And that's kind of what the history looks like. So 2020 all the way into 2021, when the price was running higher, we got to see something just like this. 27% drawdown, and the negative divergence was confirmed with that. We have something similar. Negative divergence being confirmed, price is down 21%. And you're breaking, or it at least appears as it's breaking that long-term trend line. Back then and now, it's in front of you. You're deciding, right? You're looking at the data points from the market and asking yourself, does that make sense? Because if it does, that means you are in the right segment. Because XRP as an asset, it's a long-term asset. 1. 2, it's not a meme coin. It's a utility token. So you are here as an investor, not a trader. But 100%, the market has thousands, if not tens of thousands of assets which can be traded with some liquidity. And if you are lucky enough, you will go through some of the beautiful gains. But the question is, if you are here in the market, you should understand certainty. XRP shows 25 million XRP was bought from Binance and moved into another wallet. So most likely that guy is not going to sell. That's $10+ million being bought just for one wallet. So think about all the other buys which are happening in the market. And when you see new money coming in, meaning it's not just USDC printing out of thin air. When new money comes in and asks for USDC, they have to give them that because it's 1:1 kind of backed. which gives you a legit idea that new money is entering the market without a big doubt factor. But the news of SEC, CFTC, SEC going after consensus for MetaMask, it's there. It's creating fear for sure. But don't forget, this particular SEC case being cleared in the court was a big thing too. Which means when the SEC goes to another judge saying, okay, we are going to sue them, they did something bad, enforce this, the court will now say, this is the recent ruling that these guys don't know what they're doing and they don't have the authority to do this. If the Congress, if the Constitution doesn't give them this ability, they are just abiding the rules which they can. So they cannot actually go into all this and sue them until a judge agrees on this. But recently we are watching SEC getting slapped left and right on a different set of cases. Not just the Ripple case, but you're watching a lot of different things. Say, Stuart actually highlighted this last time. Gary thinks that SEC is a cop on the beat. But what's exactly happening? The opinions of these bureaucrats deserve no special deference, and their authority is constrained by the Congress and the courts. So the side of people being worried about SEC is kind of ending here. So as soon as the price starts to take over and enter into the FOMO region, you will see the difference. Now, what does the market say? The price action, the sentiment. You're watching this, which is one of the easiest way to understand what the market suggests. And here, the price is going higher, making a higher low after putting in a higher high in that swing, which is good. You're getting the RSI conveying an information saying, I'm going down while the price is going up, which is a divergence, which is a bullish divergence, hidden bullish divergence, which means a lot more sellers entered the market, but they were unable to push the price below the previous low. That just sounds like what we went through when the majority were saying it's going to break, it's a double top. We called for a double bottom. This was the exact same reason. When all the big guys were going on the other side, we told you, watch for the burst. It took off. Why? A lot more sellers came in, but the price didn't go down. So the buyers were so strong. Right now, in front of you, that's exactly something similar you're watching. But there's a difference. Here you had a lot more sellers. Here you have a little bit sellers trying to push the price down, which means if you actually got a burst all the way from 25,000 towards 75,000, you may not get that kind of a pop. So if you put that into the perspective of measurement, that's a 200% rally. I don't think we're going to do that. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think maybe we'll end up with a 50-60% run up, which still is a big number for Bitcoin considering where it came from. Remember, the falling wedge was the key factor and the breakout we called out. If you go back in these videos, you'll actually see 2023 Jan, not everyone was bullish. Very few was, and we were one of them. Now, if you come to the reality of this, you'll say, okay, Bitcoin can bounce. What about altcoins? This is where the real information lies. The trick of the market is, after the negative divergence, the price bounced. And that bounce was the key factor of pushing the altcoins through the roof. Even XRP did 10 times of what the Bitcoin did. So if you argue Bitcoin is going to do a 100% move. Now we are seeing even XRP is going to do a 10x just in the first leg. Great. I'm happy if that becomes a reality. But you know the market, you know the history, and you can actually look for what's probable and what's hype, right? So now if you come back into XRP, you'll actually see there lies a long-term resistance. Until you see a breakout, you're not putting the measured move to the upside. Say you're super optimistic about this asset. Now you're saying your measured move is this, which is like, I think 10x, 14x something. Let's put it number, yeah, 14x. That 14x, if you plot to the upside, the number which you come close to is like $10, $11. That still is a massive run up for an asset which is right now below $0.5. Now, there are highly correlated assets, right? You go to XLM, that's a highly correlated asset with respect to XRP. So if you put things clearly, on a 3-day chart, very rarely you have seen the price and the RSI showing you that I'm dropping, but I've entered this zone. Say you want more clarity on this. Remove all of those, enter on a weekly. Ask yourself, how many times in the history of a weekly chart for XLM, it has reached that level 30 in the RSI? And during that time, if you bought into this asset, was that an opportunity or not? 1. 2, how long did it actually take? Took for that asset? How long did it actually take from the first bottom till the top? It shows 600 days. Why? Because that was the fear in itself pushing the RSI down. That was starting to show you divergence. The real one came in close to this range. Even if you put it that close back then to this real top, the first big bounce, that's 385 days. That's a year. Now, if you go look at the completion of the bear market, the start of the new wave, the higher high, the higher low, and at that point, you can say, okay, that's clearly the first wave there. Now, if you're a wave guy, what you're arguing here is that the micro 1, 2, 3, boom, that's big. Now, are we watching something similar? Is this that choppy season? Can this be that choppy season? Most likely there is a huge possibility which we cannot deny. Why would I say so? Because when you actually take that same chart on a monthly, this is what you're watching. The price is going up on a trend line while the RSI is going down on a trend line. That's a huge hidden bullish divergence which has been developing over the years. So any breakout from this pattern is going to be huge for this asset as well. So you need to understand, yes, the payments industry is huge, it's massive. But some of these assets have already priced in its adoption, its utility, its fundamentals. That's where you align your portfolio with some risk, with some fundamentals, with some MEMS, with whatever you want. But make sure you have some gaming, you have some infrastructure, some smart contracts, some payments, a mix of those. This allows you to absorb most of the gains, and that's why in the SI family we go through a lot of different assets trying to give you the right thought process. If it's a red flag, you'll see that. If it's an opportunity, you will see that. And to reach there, you can use the link in the description below and be a part of the Scientific Investor family with 1,200 plus members are readily taking benefit of it. Now, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, I would request do that for me. Now, before we conclude,